Good day, everyone. This is Jimmy Nika Manaet, and today we will discuss about the exile, trial, and death of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. On December 6, 1896, Jose Rizal faced trial for sedition, rebellion, and conspiracy, leading to his execution. He was implicated in the revolution against Spanish rule led by Andres Bonifacio. He was initially allowed to serve as a military surgeon in Cuba. Jose Rizal was arrested and wrote. Despite pleading innocence, Dr. Jose Rizal was convicted and sentenced to death. His execution on December 30, 1896 in Bagong Bayan, now we called it Rizal Park, marked a crucial moment in Philippine history driven by his novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo. And now, I will hand over the time to another reporter who can delve deeper into the topic.
The trial and execution of Dr. Jose Rizal. Dr. Jose Rizal trial and execution were significant event in Philippine history as they turned him into a martyr and sparked social change. Rizal was put to death for subversion by the ruling powers, who saw him as a threat to the existing social order. His death was impactful and emotional, leading to the transformation in the lives of the people. Rizal's dedication to a higher purpose and his useful in society played a key role in his martyrdom.
Good day, everyone. I'm going to discuss about the trial of Dr. Jose Rizal. So, the Spanish colonial government accused Rizal for 3 crimes. First, the founding of La Liga Filipina as an illegal organization whose single aim was to perpetrate the crime of rebellion. La Liga Filipina was a civic organization founded by Rizal with the intention of writing the Filipino people to work for reforms peacefully within the colonial system. However, the Spanish government viewed the organization as a threat to their authority as they believed it could potentially lead to rebellion and uprising. The mere act of forming and leading La Liga Filipina was used as evidence of Rizal's intent to incite rebellion, even though his primary goal was peaceful reform. Second, the rebellion which he promoted through his previous activities. Rizal was a prolific writer and intellectual who used his works such as the novels of No Limitangere and El Fili to criticize the injustices and abuses of Spanish colonial. While Rizal advocated for social reforms and justice through his writings, the Spanish government interpreted his criticisms as seditious and aimed at inciting rebellion among the Filipino people. And lastly, the illegal associations. The penalty for those accusations is the life imprisonment to death and correctional imprisonment and a charge of 325 to 3,250 pesetas. When we say pesetas, it is the currency of the Spain. The prosecution drew information from the dossier on Rizal which detailed his subversive activities. Some activities will be discussed by Miss Amigable.
Good day everyone, I'm Eleni Imamigable and I'm here to continue the discussion for the trial of Jose Rizal about accusation against him and the prosecution against him. Rizal faced serious charges related to his work. The penalty for such accusation is ranged from life imprisonment to death, and as well as the correctional imprisonment and fines. It is because his writings and activism challenged the Spanish colonial authorities and the oppressive role in the Philippines during the late 19th century. three activities that the prosecution drew information of Jose Rizal. First, the no limit theory, the El filibusterismo, and the Masonic lodges. First, the no limit theory. The no limit theory is one of the famous novel of Jose Rizal. Mao ni siya diri gipakita kung unsa ka lisod ug unsa ka hugaw ang gipambuhat sa Spaniards ug sa Piling Katoliko ngadto sa Pilipino. The second is El filibusterismo. Kani siya nga novel kay it dedicated to the three priests who murder ang gumbursa da Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora. Diri gipakita nga galisod ang gumbursa kung unsa sila ka sakripisyo ug ang kamatayon sa gumbursa. And the third one is the Masonic lodges. Kani siya nga Masonic lodges gisuportahan ni Jose Rizal para sa independence among the Filipino both home and abroad. So, after the preliminary investigation on February 20, 1896, Rizal brought to trial and the trial began soon after. So, even if Rizal defends arguments, he was ultimately found guilty on December 26, 1896.
I am Jessa Alido Bainosa. I am going to tackle about the two kinds of evidences. Colonel Olive has endorsed two kinds of evidence to Governor Ramon Blanco, which is documentary evidence and testimonial evidence. Let me first discuss the documentary evidence. Colonel Olive has provided 15 exhibits as documentary evidence. These exhibits can provide or include various types of written documents, photographs, maps, or any other tangible evidence that supports the claims being made. Documentary evidence is considered objective evidence because it provides factual information that can be examined and analyzed. And now, let's proceed the testimonial evidence. Colonel Olive also presented testimonial evidence which consists of statements or accounts given by individuals who have first-hand knowledge or experience related to the matter at hand. The testimonies were provided by Martin Constantino, Aguedo del Rosario, Jose Reyes, Moises Salvador, Jose Dizon, Domingo Franco, Deodato Aureliano, Peo Valenzuela, Antonio Salazar, Francisco Quizon, and Timoteo Pais. Testimonial evidence provides subjective insights and personal perspectives that can help establish the facts of a case or situation. After receiving these pieces of evidence, Judge Rafael Dominguez, who is assigned as the advocate, reviewed the records. The role of the judge is to carefully review the documentary evidence and testimonial evidence presented by Colonel Olive. He will analyze the content, credibility, and relevance of the evidence to understand the facts and circumstances surrounding the case. Based on this review, the judge will determine the appropriate corresponding actions that should be taken. After a brief review, Judge Dominguez transmits the records to Don Nicolas de la Pena. Don Nicolas de la Pena is likely another authority figure involved in the decision-making process. The transmission of records implies that the evidence and recommendations provided by Judge Dominguez will be forwarded to Don Nicolas de la Pena for further consideration, decision-making, and actions.
I am Josamela Sola. Good day, everyone. I am here in front of you to continue the discussions of the two kinds of evidences endorsed by Colonel Olive to Governor Ramon Blanco and Peña's recommendations. So let's proceed to Peña's recommendations. So these are the followings of Peña's recommendations.
First is Rizal must be immediately sent to trial. Second, he must be held in prison or under necessary security. Third, Jose Rizal properties must be issued with order of attachment. And lastly, as indemnity, Rizal had to pay 1 million pesos instead of a civilian lawyer. Only an army officer is allowed to defend Rizal. So, the lawyer of Jose Rizal is Luis Taviel de Andrade. He is the brother of Jose Taviel de Andrade, who worked as Rizal's personal bodyguard in Calamba in 1887. So, in the presence of his Spanish counsel on December 11, 1896, charges against Rizal were read in the presence of his Spanish counsel. When they asked regarding his sentiments or reactions on the charges, Rizal replied that in his defense, Rizal does not question the jurisdiction of the court. He has nothing to amend except that during his exile in the Pitan in 1899, he had not dealt in political matters. He has nothing to admit on the charges against him and had nothing to admit on the declarations of the witnesses he had not met nor knew against him. And that's the recommendations of Peñas.
Good day everyone, I'm Ishimari Tikalanog and I will tackle about the execution of Dr. Jose Rizal. So Dr. Jose Rizal is a key member of the Filipino propaganda movement which has advocated political reforms for the colony under Spain. His execution by the Spanish colonial government made him a martyr of the Philippines Revolution. Dr. Jose Rizal was executed by firing squad at Bagumbayan, now Rizal Park in Manila, Philippines, on December 13, 1896 at the age of 35. Before his execution, Rizal wrote a final letter now known as Mi Ultimo Adios or My Last Farewell, and gave it to his family. In the letter, he expressed his love for the country and his willingness to die for it.
I'm going to die with a tranquil consent at 7 a.m. on December 30, 1896 at Luneta, Manila. The 35 years old period was shot in the back by a firing squad. The executed turned halfway around to the face his execution and fell on his back to face the Philippine sun.
So, a pleasant day to everyone. I am Sofia Gaco and I'm here to continue discussing the last day of Jose Rizal's and his execution. So, Rizal's family was not able to claim his body after the execution as the military secretly buried him at the Paco Cemetery. His sister Narcisa searched for his cadaver unsuccessfully until she stumbled upon the cemetery and recognized a fresh dug earth as his brother's grave. He had plague an initial for his brother, which is RPJ for Protasio Jose. Later, Rizal's last work or masterpiece, which is Mi Ultimo Adios, or in English is My Last Farewell, was found at the base of an alcohol burner delivered to his family. Narcisa eventually obtained permission to exhume his brother's body, revealing that it has not been placed in a coffin nor wrapped. His remains were interred at the base of Rizal's monument at Luneta after the American occupation of Manila. So that will be the end of our discussion about Dr. Jose Rizal's last day and his execution. So thank you for listening everyone and have a good day.